Hey, what's happening, Nation? It's Joku. Raiders, Vikings, preseason, week 2, almost raw reaction. I can't do a true raw reaction to these preseason games just because there's so much that you have to be able to take in and actually see where this team is trying to move to going forward. There are still some huge holes on this team and some highly questionable shit that I saw, and so I wanted to break it down, get your guys' opinions on it. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. I really do appreciate it. It really does help me out and keep me growing. But we're going to go ahead and jump straight into this. I just want to run down the shit that I did see, just position by position. Some of it I thought really did look good, but some of it was frustrating the shit out of me. We'll start in that quarterback room. Stidham honestly looks like a pretty legitimate backup. I'm not too pissed by what I've seen thus far. He knows this offense. He's pretty good on his feet, and I pray to God that we never see him in an actual live game, but if we have to, I think he's going to be just as good, if not better, than Mariota was. Nick Mullins, I have zero faith in. Maybe our practice squad quarterback, but I really don't give two shits what actually happens to him. I do not like him. And then Chase is pretty much just hanging out for camp, and then I think you'll see him just slowly disappear once we get down to those final cuts. But Stidham has performed well over the first 2 weeks. I have liked what I have seen. I'm really hoping we get to see Carr next week, even if it's only for a brief period of time. I really just want to see this offense, as many people that we do have healthy and active together on the field, at least for a drive or two. Moving into that running back room, Brown pretty much closed this game out for us. 14 carries, 54 yards. And props to him, he played a pretty damn good game, but he's going against second and third string guys. You have to understand, when you get into the second half of these preseason games, you are talking about players on the field that are most likely not even going to be in the NFL. But that is one of the reasons that I love preseason football, is because those guys are legitimately fighting for a fucking job. And the Raiders are going to have at least one open running back spot. As long as we don't do anything stupid like trading off Josh Jacobs, which I do not see happening at all. We will have Jacobs. We will have Kenyon Drake, who's honestly looking pretty damn good. I'm glad to see him healthy again. And we got Zeus, and I'm telling you, I know he didn't have like a spectacular game again, but that kid is the real fucking deal. He is legitimate, and I want to see more of him. But that fourth running back spot is still completely open, and we might end up keeping a fullback. I'm honestly pretty damn excited about that running back room right now, and as we trim the fat off the back end of that thing, it's going to end up shaping out to be something truly, truly special. The problem is that our offensive line looked like shit once again yesterday. Mumford, Illuminor, Parker, they all look like shit. We need a right tackle on this team desperately bad. Almost as bad as we need a defensive tackle, but I will get there in a minute. The bottom line is the Raiders have like $22 million in cap space right now. Split that shit in half, get a right tackle, get a defensive tackle, and let's get this fucking show on the road. Moving into that wide receiver room, I made a video the other day about the receivers I thought we were going to end up keeping on this team. Go ahead and throw that shit right out the window. I'm not scared to eat crow. It is preseason, and we are all watching this shit shake out at the same time. I know he only had one catch, but Hollins was doing things on special teams, he was making plays, and he seems to be gearing up as the dude that might end up winning that number 2 receiver spot on this roster. I thought DeMarcus Robinson was a shoo-in for that spot, but now I'm starting to think differently. He appears to be pretty far back on that depth chart. Even DJ Turner came out and had a hell of a game. Moving into that tight end room just real quick, Nick Bowers, I have had your back for like 2 seasons, and you completely screwed the pooch yesterday. You missed so many damn blocks, it was driving me freaking crazy. You need to get your head on straight, because that number 3 tight end spot is yours for the taking if you want that shit. But if you play like you did yesterday, you're going to end up handing that shit away. And then finishing up with the defense, and I'm going to make this pretty damn quick because I do not want to get too deep into the defensive side of the ball right now. You guys know how much I care about the defensive side of the ball, and I can go off on like a 20-minute rant right now, but I do not want to. I just want to keep watching this, seeing how the players are developing. But one of the main things that totally stood out to me was how shit our run defense is once we get past our starters. We look absolutely terrible. We need somebody to plug the middle of that line, and we do not have that shit on this roster at this current point. We need a big-ass, mean defensive tackle, and as much as I hate this dude as a player and as a person, go out there and sign Sue. You need somebody. At the end of every season, his ass pretty much just chases the money, but he ends up playing pretty damn good, and he has such a reputation that players don't fuck with him in the middle of the field. But his ass is starting to get a little bit older now, and he's pretty much due for an injury, and you know that shit would happen if he came to us and we ended up paying him a shit ton of money. But there's a couple other defensive tackles that are on that free agent list right now that can come in and make an immediate difference. Spend your money. You have it for a reason. And then one other little quick hit, Luke Masterson, I have your back. Step that shit up. You missed a couple big plays yesterday where you should have had a true opportunity. You want to make this roster, and there is a viable shot that you can if you can keep your shit together and you can start to slide up that depth chart. But if you play like you did yesterday, you have a possibility of being part of this first round of cuts that's coming up. Kuntz and Bauer each had a sack, so props to you guys. Congratulations, you were able to make it through a third-string offensive line. And then Kendall Vickers, I want you on this final roster, but I do not think you're going to make it once again. I do not want to see you riding our practice squad. You step up at game time, you need to do that shit and earn your spot. There are a ton of people in the nation that are starting to lose faith in you, and I do not want to become one of them because I know you have that shit inside you. Alright, Nation, so that's pretty much what I have for you tonight, my almost raw reaction. You guys hit me up, let me know your thoughts on the game. Overall, we're 2-0, and I think we're looking pretty damn good. I just want to see us get our starters on the field, and I want to see us finish this Waller contract bullshit so his ass will get back on the field with this team. But until next time, I'm Joe Q. Thank you very much for checking out another one. If you can click that like on your way out, it really does help me out. We will catch y'all on the next one.